Hi and welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Nyambura and this is 100 on Books. Today I'm going to be talking about the 3 books I finished in the week ending 3rd December 2022. The first of those was The Crane Wife by C.J. Hauser, read by C.J. Hauser, so the author. This is a collection of essays that are strung together to make a memoir, and the titular essay was originally in the Paris Review, and that's what drew me to this book actually. She's a really good writer. I must say that C.J. Hauser is a really good writer, and I mean part of its appeal also at a certain point was realizing that she is friends with Ndinda Kyoko, who is a friend of the channel slash podcast slash, the 100 on Books universe broadly defined. So that was something that got me. And also Ivy Nyayeka, who, as you know, is a great book recommender, had praised the book and some of its ideas and so on. So I went in sort of knowing what to expect. But I think I'm growing out of memoirs, and this might be a casualty of that, because I'd listened to an essay and then another one and then another one. And I'd actually planned on doing a parallel read, but after some point I was just like, nah, I don't know if I want to do that, and that was kind of weird. Like, I think I felt a bit odd feeling like that. Like, as I said, it's well written, but looking back now, and this is less than a week after I read it, or maybe just a week since I read it, because I'm recording this on Tuesday, the 6th of December, I do not remember a single essay from that book. And I think this is a common thing that's been happening with books where, say, an author gets a deal off of the strength of like an article or a piece or whatever that went viral on the internet, good for them. But then the extended universe basically is not really as interesting as that one essay for some of us. So maybe this is also something for me to take into my 2023 reading, to sort of take a break from these I loved the one thing they did on Twitter, or I loved the one thing they did on insert name of literary magazine here, so I am going to go and read this larger work. As I said, it wasn't bad, but it didn't give what I thought it was going to give. And yeah, it is what it is. Then the second book I finished was I Will Judge You by Your Bookshelf by Grant Snider, which is a collection of comic strips really by Grant Snider that are about reading, the literary life, writing, all the things that lead to writing, being a parent who reads, being a parent who reads to a child, and so on. It's really interesting. It took me a really long time to finish this. If you look at my Goodreads, there's a link down below. Also, I forgot to mention that there's going to be a link to C.J. Hauser's The Crane Wife essay in the Paris Review downstairs. But anyway, back to I Will Judge You by Your Bookshelf. It was just really cute and really whimsical, and I think sometimes I'm just not in the headspace for a graphic novel or a comic book or whatever, and that's sort of where I was with this one. But when I got into that zone, I really enjoyed it. Also, last week was a really rough week for me for a host of reasons, and so I found that books that are heavily illustrated really come through for me in that regard, because it's just like I'm enjoying the pictures, and I'm still getting to read, but without the pressure of all these inches of text that come with reading print or something like that. So I enjoyed it. If you love reading, if you love writing, if you love sharing books, thinking about books, if you spend more than a little time a day, a month, a year thinking about books and literary things, you're really going to enjoy it. Then the third book I finished was Higher Love by Alexandria House, read by Jacoby Diem and Mari. And I found this via, I'm going to say Instagram. Julia Mbani read it. I'm going to post a link to her channel down below. And she really rated it. And then it felt like in the span of a week, everybody and their cousin was reading it. And I was like, okay, I'm someone's cousin too. Anyway, so I enjoyed this. What's it about? Start there, Nyambura. It is a story that centers this woman who's a lifestyle blogger. She goes off to a festival and suddenly cannot reach her fiance, only to find that she's been jilted. This is not even a spoiler. This is literally like page 2 of the book. And this guy who she meets at the festival, and they hit it off. They have a good time, but you know the vibes are there. They have a certain chemistry, but that neither of them is in a headspace to, you know, start anything. But then the span of that festival, you know, in those moments when you're like, I'm not going to see this person again, so why not? Or when one, not you, I don't want to make any assumptions about my audience. But yeah, they have a very intense couple of days together and head off in their different directions, because when am I going to see this person again, right? But okay, this is a romance novel, so we all know they're going to meet. And it was just really sweet to not have that traditional third act conflict. I think I've mentioned this in the past. I'm not crazy about third act conflict. In the way we are accustomed to seeing it, like it occurred, yes, but it was so melodramatic that I almost did not notice it was happening. It was like, nah, I know you're making this stuff up, but they're kind to each other, they're generous to each other, and of course, like, this book traffics in the trope of the very rich man who caters to his woman by flying her to places and getting her nice things and so on and so forth. Derek, who our main character Kennedy, no, Greer Kennedy. So, and the guy she hooks up with is called Derek Hill. Kennedy, why do I keep calling her by her surname like I'm a teacher? Greer has come out of the sort of relationship where it's like, you know, we are dating, no need to make a big deal of it, etc. And so she really enjoys being treated with, you know, like a lot of indulgence and so on in this relationship, which was nice to witness, honestly. Like, it's always nice to witness women being treated with kindness and generosity by their partners, not just women, but people generally, except if you read The Crane Wife, call back, you will know that that's not always the case. And so, and also, like, it was one of those black male female romances, so I enjoyed it on multiple levels, and this is the sort of thing you generally enjoy. You know, two grown-ups who like each other, who rate each other, who are willing to take a chance on each other despite a lot of other things that have happened in their lives and so on. And also acknowledging what it means to be grown-ups in relationships, because, say, like, Greer has this friends, and we see the story more from her perspective. So we're also seeing her relationships with her friends and so on. And yeah, she has friends who are in less than great relationships, and this is showing up in different ways. But they're also showing up for each other and thinking and rethinking what it means to love and be loved, and that was really beautiful to witness. Right, so those are the 3 books I finished in the week ending 3rd December 2022. I feel like, yeah, my memoir era has come to an end. You know, it was good while it lasted. God bless. I don't think that it's going to happen again for a while. Yeah, and I would highly recommend graphic novels if you're not quite in a slump, but you're just like, oh, I don't know if I want to look at text. I don't know if I'm in that zone, but you also don't want to, or maybe you want to, but maybe like you want to have some time to read something, you know, like to look at text but not to be inundated by it. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it, because it really came through for me with I'll Judge You by Your Bookshelf, which, as I said, I was finally able to finish. And finally, I will definitely be checking out more of Alexandria House's work. I've been seeing her. Again, I think it's one of those times when the algorithm knows what you want, or maybe more of the people who I'm following on Instagram are reading her books, but I've been seeing her a lot since I read Higher Love. And I think if you are into black love, romance, the sort of stuff she writes, and also, like, she writes very good sex scenes, I must say this, but at least the ones in Higher Love, like, it wasn't anything that was hella raunchy, but it was also like, this is really nice to read, or in this case, listen to. So consider picking up her books, as I will. that is it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and all the good things, and I'll see you soon. Bye.